Hey everybody, it's Billy Rickman here. Welcome to episode number 57 of the Billy Rickman Show podcast. And today it's a little bit of a sad day as we now are ending day number 5 of the Bali Coaching Retreat. And it's been an interesting week. It's been a definitely interesting week, and we've had so much fun here with everybody, and seeing everybody go through the highs and lows and realising their strengths, but also their weaknesses and the challenges they have externally from learning new skills, but also internally dealing with their own demons, as it were, and their own internal conflicts and their inner voice, and trying to overcome that. And in episode 56, the last episode I talked about this with self-doubt, which was weird that I'd spoken about it only a couple of episodes earlier. Well, 30, I think it was 38 episodes earlier, what have you. But yeah, it's been a pretty consistent theme here. But someone I do have sitting next to me right now, she's just looked at me all strange. If you're watching this on YouTube, not listening to the podcast, you can see I'm looking at her right in the eyes right now. She's looking at me. And so what I'm going to do is just quickly go around and talk to a couple of the people who have been on the coaching retreat this week and ask them about what they've learned from it and what they're going to take back in their business, and maybe some lessons that they would pass on to anybody listening into the podcast. So without further delay, let's quickly pan around now. And like I said, if you're watching this on YouTube, there we are. It's Chrissy again, in the flesh, but instead of being on the other side of a Zoom camera, I might just exit off that for a second.
Yeah, no worries.
Oops, wrong way. And technology.
Woohoo.
Where are we? Whoop. If you're listening to it on the podcast, you're probably like, what the heck are they doing? I've got my gimbal with me and I'm trying to figure out how to work it properly. But anyway, I've got Sight Chrissy. Last time we saw Sight Chrissy, we were on a Zoom call together, and you were in sunny Victoria.
Sunny Victoria? I don't know about sunny,
freezing
but I was
cold
in
Victoria. Yeah, and I was in sunny Queensland. But today we're both in sunny Bali. It is pretty warm right now, even though it's just gone 5 o'clock. One of the girls just got out of the pool. It's beautiful. So tell me, Chrissy, what have you taken from this week?
Oh, look, I've taken away that it's just all about the content. Isn't it, Billy?
Oh.
You know, creating
content creation.
Yeah, creating content, writing stories, telling your story, connecting with the people, which is something that I really enjoy doing, and it's pretty much what brand, Sight Chrissy is based on. So it was really good to focus on that this week and break it down, I suppose, into, how do I need to deliver content in lots of different ways to achieve success. So that is pretty much what we have been knuckling down on the last few days. And
a bit emotional?
Yes, it has been. There's been some ups and downs and some challenges and, definite brain fries, very, very intensive work. So, but very worthwhile at the same time.
And so what would you say, based on the past couple of days, what would you say that is missing for salon owners, and maybe you picked up this week and went, if I could give someone one bit of advice, what would it be? If you could give a salon owner or anyone listening to this, because I do have other businesses listening to the podcast, if you give them one bit of advice based on how you feel right now, what would it be?
I would say do not be scared. I think there's a big fear about sharing, obviously, parts of yourself that might be, I suppose, sensitive or something that you would never fathom sharing with kind of the broader community or people that might be watching. But it is really important to be able to make those connections. And they're probably not stories that your clients haven't heard before anyway.
Yeah.
But I think when the camera comes into it or the blog comes into it, or there seems to be some sort of microscope on what it is of your life experience, people really shut down and become fearful of what other people are going to say about those experiences. But in my Sight Chrissy experiences, the people love it. They really do. They love stories. They love to connect with people. And it really is what will take your business to the next level.
That is awesome. And just to clarify, I won't say who it was, but one of the people here questioned you on day one and asked you if you really were a psychic. And and just to confirm, not a psychic.
No, not
a psychologist. I won't say who that was. Awesome. Thanks for being here this week.
No problems.
And look, we're going to move on. And so again, if you're watching on YouTube, you'll see me walking around with the camera right now around the villa, this beautiful villa. And I'm going to now go and have a chat with Sara Pollard, who you would have seen. I uploaded a video on my pages the other day. Sarah, do you mind me filming in your bikini there?
Oh my goodness.
All right, good. I'll take that as a yes. Oh, that's Shosh. That's not... Oh. All right, I'm going to spin this thing around. Sarah, how are you, my love? Hang on. Let me... there we are. How you doing?
Who's this for?
Okay, so this is actually a podcast. This is episode 57 of the Billy Rickman Show podcast. You've
No,
made it.
it's not.
It is, totally is. Yeah, you made it.
Oh, no.
You know you've made it in life when you're on the podcast. All right.
I just had to dunk in the pool to get my glasses, so this is looking great.
Look, there's only a couple of thousand people who listen and watch, so you're all good. Okay, so Ms. Pollard, the question I just asked Psych Chrissy is, it's been a bit of a turbulent week here in Bali. A lot of really good things to come out of it, but then a lot of like emotional sort of challenges to overcome as well for some people. And so how have you found the experience? Makes me nervous when you last... If you're listening to this on the podcast, yes, she's still with us. She's
Yeah.
just pondering in thought if you're not watching on
She
YouTube.
doesn't take many breaths. So, look, I've got to admit, it's probably done a little bit of the opposite for me and made me realise actually how strong in thought and belief I've become over the past few weeks, and how it's really highlighted to me how far I've really actually come.
I have to say that you have been your knowledge is amazing, to be honest with you. Like I didn't know you had that much knowledge about marketing and content creation and funneling and all that sort of good stuff.
That's why this is all so exciting to me, and I'm just happy to roll with the punches. I'll work as hard as I can to get this done, because this is going to be the biggest thing that I can do for working on my business, and move forward.
Awesome. And so for those salon owners who weren't lucky enough to make it to Bali this year, if you could, right now, how you're feeling right now, what advice would you give any business owner if they could make only a couple of changes in their business right now? What would that bit of advice be?
You're asking me?
Yeah.
Do you know what? The biggest thing for me has probably been it's okay to reach out, it's okay to show your vulnerability, and it's okay to feel every single emotion. And that's been a really big learning curve for me, because I'm not shy by any stretch of the imagination, but
No, I'll have to vouch for that. Yeah.
but I shy away from opening up because I've felt a little fear of, oh my God, these people are going to think I'm a right idiot. What is she doing? She's got no idea. That kind of toxic self talk down, I guess. And through reaching out, especially within the inner circle, they're actually reaching out and saying, hey, you know what? I'm really not doing this great in this and this and this. Everybody's now jumped on board. Everyone is so open. And it turns out everyone was feeling exactly the freaking same.
Yeah.
So it wasn't just me. I wasn't the next one on the bus to the loony bin. Thanks, Psych
You're all on the
Chrissy.
bus to the loony bin.
But it was a massive time of growth for me, and it was a strange feeling of, we all kind of knew that we just had to sit with it and ride the roller coaster to push through to the other side.
Yeah.
So my best piece of advice to anyone in business for however long is to allow that vulnerability to be exposed and reach out to others.
Love that. I love that. And have a few bintangs to get through it.
Yeah.
Sarah has been the queen of bintangs this week, which has been good for me because I haven't felt so bad about having
And
them
this
myself.
is the first time I've laid by the pool, mind you, and that was the first time I'd been in the pool all week, and I was just like, that's it, the pool's calling my name.
Sarah, come on. You've been in there all week. We haven't got you
Come
out.
on. That's such a lie.
No, that's really good advice. Thank you so much, Sarah, and thanks for being on the podcast. We're going to move around now to somebody else as I pan back around. Okay, so let's go up here and probably I'm going to speak to somebody now who is from New Zealand, and so not in the not in the Australian market, but in the New Zealand market. So it's been interesting to get a different perspective this week from somebody. Oop, and just lost my gimbal. All right, it's coming back around now. Okay. Yeah. And so, Tracy, this is my podcast, as you know, and we're filming. This is episode number 57. So, if you're not watching on YouTube and you're just listening to the podcast, this is Tracy Keefe. She is from Blush Beauty in Rollystone in New Zealand. Rollystone.
Or actually Rollston. But we just will call it Rollystone.
Rollystone. I don't understand New Zealand.
I know.
And did you know that in New Zealand they pay 15% GST? So anyone listening in Australia?
Yeah, it's just not fair. Everyone here pays 10%. Yeah. It's terrible.
But your wages are a lot lower.
Yeah, they are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
All right. So, Tracy, the question I'm going around and asking is, a couple of questions.
Mm-hmm.
How have you found this week? I've been quite open with the two I've interviewed so far and said that it's been a bit of an emotional week.
Oh, God,
But we made it.
Yeah, we have, yeah. And I think it has been a really emotional week, and I think that's probably made it better because it's pulled us as a group together really, really close. And yeah, to know that we're all struggling in the same way, and it's all because we're struggling with self-doubt, and it's really hard as a business owner. People probably think you don't have self-doubt, but you're still exactly the same as everybody else.
I talk about perspective a lot, and I wish in my podcast I talk about how I wish I could pass on, the information I listen to or the conversations I have with people on a daily basis with salon owners, and try to give people some perspective around that, because before this week I knew you guys all had the same challenges internally anyway. And quite similar externally, but and I don't think that people believed that. I think they thought that they were the only ones, and this week has probably shown others that everyone has the same vulnerabilities and everyone is feeling the same way. They don't always feel like Superman in business.
No, exactly. And some days you have an amazing day, and some days you do feel completely bulletproof, and then there might be a day where you have no sleep, and it's really hard to get up in the morning and be chirpy, and be really friendly and happy to all your clients who are feeling really grumpy and tired, and but it's been an emotional roller coaster, because whenever we do anything tech related or Facebook related, I'm just like, and writing things, and it's everything that we've done here is completely the business part is the part that I struggle with. It's like being a beauty therapist and teaching the girls about treatments. Yeah, that's easy. This is really hard. And I've been flying by the seat of my pants and doing okay for years. Like for 10 years, I haven't really, I've tried a few different things, and I have worked really hard. But yeah, in order to get it to that next level and to keep all the rooms full, it's like the work behind the scenes is the tricky stuff. Yeah. And I'm sure we're all going to go away and struggle even more. But I think what we've set up this week should provide enough clients coming through and getting our brand out there and getting ourselves out there, so that we are noticed locally for who we are, which I've already started to do. So this is completely outside my comfort zone. But yeah, And
so what have you just done on your computer right now?
Well, actually, I found a YouTube channel that I had.
Yes.
So that was good, because I think I made that about 3 years ago.
Yep.
And I'm terrible with passwords, so that was miraculous. And I've actually just spent 5 minutes uploading a video, and finally it's uploaded. So
right.
I've uploaded a video on an offer that I'm going to have, which is going to be connected to the sequence of my ebook.
And so you just wrote an ebook?
Just wrote an ebook.
Very good.
Yes.
So you've started a YouTube channel, you've wrote an ebook this week,
Yes.
you created a marketing and sales funnel.
Yes.
Twitter account.
Yes, I already had a Twitter account, just
Okay,
don't
good.
know how to use it, but
Good.
it's okay.
Good. And if you could give salon owners or business owners who listen to this podcast, just based on how you're feeling right now in what you've done this week, if you could give them one bit of advice, what would that be?
Don't get comfortable. You have to step outside your comfort zone. And my husband was here this week earlier on, and I didn't realise he was sneaking in and out, and he actually watched us. And he was just like, oh my God, it was so interesting just seeing you completely outside of your comfort zone but doing really well.
Yeah.
And so he's been sending me messages all week when I've said what I was doing, and he's like, oh my God.
That's awesome.
So don't get comfortable. If something's hard, if you think it's going to work, persevere with it. And if something's hard, walk away, but try and come back to it.
Yeah.
I've always walked away and just had a tantrum, and yeah, it doesn't really work.
Good. Well, thank you for being here this week.
You're welcome.
It's been great.
Cool.
So I'm going to wrap it up. There's a lot more people here who I could interview, but I don't know where they are. They've just been off filming themselves for their YouTube channel and uploading into their sales marketing funnels, and so I can't find them at the moment. But maybe I'll get them on another podcast tomorrow. Tomorrow's the last day of the Bali Coaching Retreat. It's been a interesting week, but I've had so much fun. It's been awesome being surrounded by amazing people, and I can't wait to share a lot of the content. I can't wait to see a lot of the content that they've created this week being shared on their platforms and see their business grow exponentially, and it really, really will, because of the things they've learned this week and what they've created. They've all written an ebook. Some people would have never said they'd be able to write an ebook. They've done that. People have never said they'd never be able to understand blogging and writing and linking and sales funnels and all that sort of stuff. The really good stuff that grows businesses, the stuff that I talk about in my podcast all the time. They've said that they'd never be able to create it, and they've proven to themselves that they're capable of a lot more this week. And so I think it really is a good message from the three that I've just interviewed, and that is to, everybody is the same. Everybody has the same self-doubt. Everybody has the same internal conflicts. And but like Tracy just said, it's a matter of perseverance. And if you can persevere long enough, then you'll win the game. And so I guess that's the message from today. So this is day 5 of the Bali Coaching Retreat. I'm Billy Rickman. This is episode number 57 of the Billy Rickman Show podcast, and I will chat to you all soon. Have an awesome day. Bye-bye.